Hello and welcome to State of the Nation. Our State of the Nation is a program where we talk about trending headlines about things happening in Nigeria. My name is Ejiro Unwata, aka Mr. Waf. Yeah, today is going to be very interesting because we are going to be diving into the issues that has to do with the certificate of Mr. President. That's President Ahmed Bola Tinubu. Today, I had a discussion earlier on with a barrister, a constitutional barrister, who really gave me his own view of things to expect about the issue. There's so much back and front with the issue about how the president submitted a different certificate to INEC from different from what the Californian state university is dishing out. So much. It's alleged that even the age of Mr. President, that he tendered three different age. The gender is a female gender, which the university came out to say is an error from their own side. All right. Equally, we have the issue of the secondary school SAT, the school he used, that of Lagos State, and all that. There's so much back and front with all these issues. And, I had a chat earlier on with Barrister Okwe, and he gave me his own perspective to the issues. I'm going to be playing this for you so that you can hear what Barrister Okwe had to say.
All right, Barrister Okwe, can you tell us what's your take on the certificate saga between President Tinubu and Alhaji Atiku Abubakar?
Okay. The issue about the certificate saga is still unclear to the public because some are saying there are irregularities with regards to the gender on the certificate. Some are saying there are irregularities with regards to the name. But from what I saw on TV, the certificate I saw on TV, the irregularities seem to appear on the gender. I saw a name, Tinubu Bola Ahmed. Although there is no Ahmed there is an initial A. Tinubu Bola A. So if there is an initial, it represents any name you have.
But
on
having
your
in
own.
mind the case of the former Bayelsa State governor, there was an issue like that has to do with the name not corresponding with what was submitted to INEC and all that. Do you think it will have any effect, this new evidence, will it have any effect on the Supreme Court?
You see, it's in very rare circumstances you see Supreme Court admit new evidence. It's most unlikely for the Supreme Court to admit the new evidence that the PDP side intends to tender. But like we all know, we that are in the legal profession, we know that the Supreme Court is the most unprecedented court in the world, especially the Nigerian Supreme Court. It can decide on its own to admit it. It can decide not to. It can. You see the case of what happened in Imo State. Whoever believed someone who came fourth in an election could be declared as the winner. So we are uncertain as to what the Supreme Court will decide to do. But if you say we should, on our own, tell you how the law applies, it is almost impossible for new evidence to be adduced on appeal.
So what's the worst case scenario that I think can happen if the Supreme Court decide to admit the evidence?
Well, I don't. Looking at the certificate, the one I saw, I don't think it will change much because the school in the United States is saying that this man was our student, that he's an alumni. They have taken sides with the current president. So if the result is admitted, the issue of gender being an irregularity could be seen
But
as
they are saying that the one he
not
submitted
substantial.
to INEC might be different from what the school is giving. I mean, having in mind the case of Salisu Buhari and Salisu Buhari, who was forced to resign. That's the first Speaker of the House in 1999. We had an issue like that. And the Kemi Adeosun issue, the former minister who was forced to resign as a result of forgery, NYC
Yes.
forgery. So, what do you think if they are able to prove that what he submitted to INEC is different from what the school gave? What do you think will happen?
Now, in that case, if the Supreme Court decides to see it as an irregularity that is substantial, they know what to do. We'll just leave it at their desk. And wait and watch and see. Today is the final day for the PDP to file their petition. We don't even know if they have filed yet. But if they have filed, then we'll wait and see what the Supreme Court will decide.
All right, thank you very much, Barrister Okpe. Barrister Okpe is a constitutional lawyer and he has given us his take. Thank you for having you around today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Well, that is Barrister Okpe. He really said a lot. One thing that really struck me about what the institution in California, what they said about third party, that you can actually get your results from a third party vendor. That means you don't need to approach the school when you need your results. That's if in case of maybe you misplace the results, you can just go and reprint, from a third party vendor. That is actually not what is obtainable here in Nigeria, but different strive for different folks. That's what is obtainable in the United States. So we'll keep our fingers crossed to see how this case is going to turn out. It's going to be quite interesting to see how the Supreme Court will handle this case. Like people say, eyes on the judiciary. We watch to see what the judiciary will come out with at the end of the day. But let me remind you that the judiciary deals with facts and evidence, so they don't deal on speculations. So please just keep that at the back of your mind. Well, this is where we'll draw it, we'll call it an end for today's program. If you want to really, let's continue the conversation on my Twitter handle at Dini_WAF, or you can go to my YouTube at Mr. WAF Gallery. Let's continue the conversation there. Drop your comments. Let's hear what you have to say. It's going to be quite interesting. Well, let me equally use this opportunity to tell you about our next coming program, which is going to be a Lecturers Hangout. Lecturers Hangout is a program where we'll bring lecturers and we'll discuss on national issues, educational issues, social issues as it affects human beings. See you some other time and have a good day.